Okay, manifesting only works when you don't care. Manifesting only works when you don't care. That's the theme for today's video. As you guys are coming in, please go ahead and like the video. Say hi. Let me know if you can hear me. Thank you, Cowlitz Bill. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so we're getting going today with today's live. Happy New Year, everyone. We're almost there, 2025. And again, today's topic is manifesting only works when you do not care. And I'm really excited about today's live because this is something if there's something that you want that you haven't manifested, this is why. Okay? The issue of caring. And it's such an important topic that we really need to understand why caring doesn't work, why it is faulty programming, and how not to care. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video is surrendering care so that you can manifest. And of course, as you come in, go ahead if you've got any questions for me, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll do my best to keep up with those as I'm going along. Pri, thank you for the super chat. I see you there. I will answer your question in just a minute. I'm going to get going with kind of the first part here. And also, if you are on YouTube, you'll see at the top of the chat, I have pinned a link. I do have a sale on memberships going on right now. It's ending on Thursday. They only go on sale once a year. So if you've been interested in becoming a member, now is the time to do it. So I just want to make sure to say that before we get going. If you're on Instagram, you can check out my memberships in the link in my bio if you're interested. Again, only sale of the year. All right, let's get going. Today we're talking about, again, manifesting only works when you do not care. So to jump right on in, here's the first thing you got to understand. Caring is not a virtue. You and pretty much everybody else on planet Earth have been programmed to believe that if you care, you're a good person. And if you don't care, you're a bad person. This right here is the fundamental issue that people struggle with when it comes to manifesting because pretty much their whole lives they've been told that they need to care. And so when they go to try to manifest something intentionally, just put it out there and let it come back, it's so hard for them not to care because they've been trained to care. But again, caring is not a virtue. It is not a positive or productive state of being to care. And so let's give you an example real quick. And I want to walk you through this and give you something to work with in your own reality so that if you've been struggling to let go of caring about the things that you want to manifest, this should help. All right. I want you to think about the people in your life that you most enjoy being around, that bring you the most joy, that are the most inspiring or most fun, most uplifting. When you're around these people, your vibe goes up. And then I want you to contrast that against the people in your life who are the most inclined to drag your vibration down, the energy vampires, the people that suck the life out of you. What you will notice invariably is that the people who have the most empowering effect on you, those high vibration people, care way less. And the people who put a drain on you emotionally, psychologically, financially, etc., those are the people who typically care more. This is an important distinction because, see, we've been taught to care, that caring is somehow good. Caring is not a positive thing. Loving is a good thing. It's good to love. It's good to love. But caring about how things work out, not good. Not good at all when it comes to manifesting in your reality. As a quick aside, this reminds me of, I saw this phenomenon. I see it all the time. But I was mentioning this a while back. Over the fall, I was volunteering for my daughter's band. She's in the marching band. And so I was spending some time helping the kids get ready and all this. And I'm around the other band parents. Okay. And this really interesting thing happened. We were setting up dinner for the kids. So they were going to have dinner and then they were going to go to the field. And so we were in the school cafeteria and we're putting together food for them. And I just show up. This is the first year that I've ever volunteered. I'm kind of laid back in my parenting style. Let my kid kind of do what she wants. And she came up to me and she brought her friends with her. She's like, Mom, meet this person, meet this person. She gave me a hug. She gave me a kiss. And then she left. And the two moms that were with me at the time, they look at me and they're like, wow, my son, my daughter, they never come up to me. They try to avoid me like the plague. And then as we continued on with putting together dinner and helping out, I noticed that these two moms really cared about what was going on. They wanted to be there. They wanted to keep an eye on the kid. They were videotaping the kid the whole time. They were fussing over the kid the whole time. They really, really cared. Okay. And that care manifested in a less than ideal relationship with the child. So, this is something I want you to understand. If you've been thinking that holding on to caring about what you want is somehow magically going to make things work out, it's not. So, my first point here and my first suggestion here is to really start to notice people who care versus people who don't care. And notice that the people who don't care tend to do better in life. That's the first exercise that's really going to help you get used to not caring so that you can let go of dreams without harboring feelings about them and being resistant to them. All right, but we got more. But let me pause real quick. I want to say hello. See lots of you guys in here. Hello, Idham, Harish, Otis, Be Happy, Mickey D, Pre, starting at 50. My lovely assistant Mary's here today. Good morning, Mary. Picket Music, Natalie, Jessica, Adam, Guillaume, Valerie, Rainbow, Traveling Yogi, Cheryl. Hello, hello. Nice to see everybody over here on Instagram as well. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to read through all this stuff on Instagram. Hello, Diana. Nice to see you. All right. And yes, if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them into the chat. I'll be answering some of those as I go along. Again, our theme today is manifesting only works when you do not care. All right, but I do have a super chat here from Pre. Pre asks, hi, Andrea. My 5-year-old son is being very difficult in behavior and has been diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder. I've tried your techniques to improve his behavior, but it's not working despite me chilling out about it. Okay. Well, I'll give you some techniques. Hopefully you haven't heard these ones before. All right. So the first thing I would like to say about this oppositional defiant disorder, it sounds so horrible. So you get a kid that like is really difficult. Okay. They're so difficult that they're clinically difficult. Okay. But one thing that I've noticed as a parent and as raising my own children is that when you have a difficult child, your difficult child is actually training you not to care. Okay, let me say it again. Your difficult child is training you not to care. The question is, are you going with it or are you not? Now, I know this from experience. Okay. My son was a holy terror. he was he was ins- he was nuts, okay? He got kicked out of preschool, like literally kicked out of preschool, kicked out of summer camps, always getting in trouble. He would There was a point in time when he was little where we had to take the lock on his door and reverse it so we could lock him in at night, which sounds terrible. But the reason that we did it was that if we left the door open, I was afraid he was going to turn the oven on and set the house on fire. He was that kind of kid. Okay. And I'm telling you this because this was early in my learning about the law of attraction. Okay. So I learned about the law of attraction right about the time that my son was born. And so those first few years with him growing up, I really came to see face to face all of that resistance that I was holding on to and needing to control things, needing things to go my way. And my son wasn't having it. And so he would fight against it, fight against it, fight against it, because that's what's really going on. Okay. And a lot of parents deal with this. You're not alone. I would say probably most parents deal with this to some degree or another, is that they want to try to control the child's behavior. Okay. But remember, with the law of attraction, when we need something to work, we are resistant And what we're really saying is, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. And so that's what happens. I don't want my child to misbehave. Child misbehaves. I don't want my child to act out. Child acts out. Okay. So instead, we have to start to gradually release the reins a little bit, give the child more freedom. Okay. Um, it can be scary to do that if you have a child that's diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder. I get it. But try to kind of step back a little bit and notice that as I'm stepping back, my child actually acts better. As I step back, my child acts better. You will see this. And I know this because I saw it with my son when I changed. I've seen my daughter become better behaved because of it as well. I was a teacher and I noticed that as I let go of the reins, the students in my class behaved better. Again, it's about releasing control. So, as bad as that diagnosis sounds, start to look at it as a very positive thing, because what it's really telling you is my son's telling me that I'm holding on so much that I've literally manifested a son who's this oppositional to show that to me. So this is a sign to me to I can let go. I can let go. He's showing you that you can let go. Doesn't seem like that now. But as you practice that and notice that, you're going to see that that diagnosis actually really benefited you because it's training you to know that I'm holding on too tight and I need to let go. Okay. I hope that's helpful. Idham asks, does not caring whether our dream will manifest or not mean we don't believe in our dream, whereas we need to believe in order to manifest? I am confused. Help. Actually, it's the opposite. So not caring means that it's fine. Okay. I'm not worried about it. That's the drill. Okay. It doesn't mean that you don't believe in your dream. It just means that this can come or not. I don't care because it's possible, because I know that everything can work out for me. I don't need to care. Okay. That does signal belief. Needing it to happen actually signals I don't believe this is going to work. I don't believe that this is going to happen. That's why I care so much. Okay. And we're going to talk kind of more on this point. That actually leads exactly into my second point. So let's go ahead and talk about that now. Okay. Again, today's topic is manifesting only works when you don't care. And so let's take Adam's question a step further. This is our second point here. Not caring means vibrationally all is well. When I don't care if something works out or not, what I'm saying is everything's fine. I don't need my child to behave. I don't need this to work out. I don't need this. Everything's good. All is well. Now, remember always the law of attraction reads your energy. So when you're projecting a message that says all is well, all is well, all is well, your reality is going to get better and better and better. And you're going to manifest things that reflect that all is well. And if having a behaving child is an example of all being well, with you not caring, all is well, the child will behave to reflect that all is well. Do you get it? I want to keep going with this parenting thing because I have another example. This one's really, really good. So I have a girlfriend and she lives a couple of houses down from me. And unlike me, she's like a natural mom. She's like, she must have been raising children for lifetimes upon lifetime. She's a she's a very natural mother. And what I mean by this is she just intuitively understands children. And so when I met her, she's younger than me. She had a toddler girl and she had just given birth to two twin boys. So she had these three little children and she worked full time. She's got a dog. Her husband's a handful. She's got a lot going on. Mother-in-law hanging around a lot. She's got a lot going on in that house. There are so many reasons for her to be overwhelmed by her children and to deal with defiant toddlers or children that don't want to listen. I've never seen it though. Never seen it. She's always been very calm. She always hasn't really cared at all. And it was almost flabbergasting to me when I met her and I was watching her with her young children. Like we took this trip our group of friends, I think we went to the zoo or we did something like that. We brought the kids. It was like a Halloween event. We all brought the kids, and her husband couldn't come. So it was just her and her young daughter and her 2 twin boys, who at the time, I think they were like 1 and a half. They were just learning how to walk. So they're very, very small, and she's in this environment with animals and noises and tractors, and she's barely even paying attention to the kids. Like, when I was watching my kids when I was younger and I didn't understand about the law of attraction, I was always hovering, "Where's the kid? Are they okay? Is everything all right?" And as a result, my kids were always throwing tantrums, they were always running away because they were matching that energy of, "There's a problem, there's a problem, there's a problem." But she instead had that attitude of, "I don't care, all is well." And so she could be having a full-on conversation with the girls, talking to us, and her kids are just sitting back there waiting for her, hovering around, staying close by. They're not like my son was. My son would have, gone into the monkey cage, okay? Her kids weren't doing that because she had that don't care, all is well energy. Okay, so especially with the parenting stuff, you can see this a lot. Look into parents that the kids are always behaving. Watch those parents. They have that don't care, all is well energy. Okay. All right. Again, make sure to go ahead and drop your questions into the chat. If you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me over on Instagram. I do lives like this every single week. I love talking to you guys. So please definitely go ahead and subscribe and follow. And then also, I know that the new year is coming up. I do have a free tip sheet for those of you who have weight loss or fitness goals. I have a manifesting tip sheet on manifesting your ideal body. If you haven't picked that up yet, make sure to do that. Very helpful for the new year. Again, it's free. You can find it at bestbodytips.com. Again, that's bestbodytips.com. My lovely assistant, Mary, is dropping that into the chat on YouTube. And then also, if you're on Instagram, again, everything on Instagram, the link is in my bio if you want to check it out. Ooh, Carlton, thank you for the super chat. Says, when you care, you can't release and let go and let flow. Exactly. Yes. Caring is resistance. Caring is resistance. Caring is resisting the flow. Okay. I'm not just going to go with what's happening. Instead, I'm going to care and dam up the river. That's what caring is. Okay. So, again, please remember, caring is not a virtue. You may have been taught that caring is the right thing to do. You may have been taught or have this image in your mind that you need to care about how things work out with your health or with the people in your life or with your profession or with your money. Like, that's the responsible and appropriate thing to do. However, if you actually take a look and take inventory into your reality and watch, what you'll notice is that the people who care the most are getting the worst results. And the people who have that kind of lackadaisical, I don't care, whatever attitude, those are the people who are doing very well and manifesting the things that they want. So you want to be noticing these things because as that becomes more of a dominant awareness within your consciousness, it becomes much easier for you to just not care because you realize that not caring works. You stop thinking you're doing something wrong by not caring. You just allow yourself not to care because you realize that's what works. But unfortunately, most people just haven't been taught that. Even today, with everybody knows everything about manifesting, even today, people care so much. They just haven't got the memo yet. Stop caring. Diana over on Instagram asks, could weight loss issues be most problematic because it's hard to turn off the feeling of the physical body? I would say that, a lot of times I think I saw a question about health over here too with the body. Oh, Jessica said, how is it possible not to care when the issue is in your health? For example, I have issues that affect my everyday health and ability to live normally right now. Those are similar questions. Yeah. Okay. So this is something that when we're dealing with the physical body, if you're dealing with pain or if you're dealing with something where there's a physical sensation, maybe you've packed on extra weight or you're feeling sluggish or you have an injury or there's something there that's tangible. Yes, I mean, obviously that can catch your awareness. And the more awareness you put onto that, the harder it is to kind of let go of it. And so, yeah, if the issue is like directly on your body, it can be more challenging to release your focus on it. But that's actually what has to be done. Okay. That's what has to be done. But it require in order to do that, so you really have to understand and appreciate that not caring is what needs to be done first and foremost, and understanding that me paying attention to the weight gain or me paying attention to the health problem isn't helping. Okay. That's the first thing. Look at yourself. Okay, well, I'm dealing with this issue and I care. So caring is correlated with this issue right here. I've never tried not caring. Maybe not caring would work. Okay. That's the first thing. Understanding that that's what's going to give you the result. And then having really the discipline to focus, realizing that the most important thing is your focus and where is my focus going? And I don't mean that you need to care about focusing elsewhere, but you need to remove your focus from the thing that you're having an issue with as much as you can. Okay. Um, One thing that is helpful to understand is that the mind can really only focus in one area at a time. Sorry, one area at a time. People think they can multitask with their mind, but they really can't. You can only really think one thought at a time. And so simply by moving the thought somewhere else is what you need to be in the habit of doing. So if you're getting up every day looking at yourself in the mirror and focusing on what you don't like and harping on the weight gain or whatever it is, you're keeping that active and you're keeping your mind centered in that area. What's a really great idea in either of those situations is to find some other areas of focus where you can go take your mind and put it elsewhere so that the mind isn't focusing on the caring of the issue. So getting a new hobby, having a new venture, having a new thing that you're learning about or exploring or getting into. Give yourself something new to kind of get obsessed about. Because the mind, once you start thinking something, it becomes easier and easier to think that thing. So this happens like if you start something new, like a new hobby or a new activity, if you go do it a few times, your mind's really going to start thinking about it and you'll almost kind of become obsessed about it and that will become your new thing. And then the focus really just removes itself from the body or the issue that you feel you need to care about in the moment. Hope that's helpful. All right, again, today our topic is manifesting only works when you don't care. Let's get into our next point here and I'll answer some more questions. Okay, here's the next thing. And you guys have all seen this. Not only do people who don't care often manifest better results, like literally people who are slackers, people who we would define as being lazy, a lot of times these people are manifesting quality results. And so this is something another phenomenon you want to pay attention into your reality. A lot of times the people who are the least deserving end up getting things that they want. And this can frustrate and annoy a lot of people who do care and who try hard and who give forth their best effort. And this isn't to say that taking action or doing your best is a wrong thing. I don't want to encourage all of you to become lazy slackers. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times people who are slackers, sometimes they have this attitude, they just don't care. And because they don't care, they allow things to line up. They don't care. Everything's fine. I don't need to work that hard. I don't need to try that hard. That's the attitude that they put out. And then they manifest results. So let me give you an example that I've seen of for this one from relationships. I see a lot of relationship content out there these days, and a lot of people talking about how hard it is to find somebody and this, that, and the next thing. Um, One thing I am noticing is that in the relationship like market, they talk a lot about, oh, you got to glow up, you got to be your best, you got to if you're a man, you got to become an alpha man and you got to work out and you got to earn six figures and you got to dress this well and all these things that you need to do to get a woman. Okay. But how many of you have seen out in the world men who don't have jobs, who aren't that put together, who don't have a whole lot of anything going on whatsoever, and yet they still manage to pick up chicks or get a roster or get women to fall in love with them? You see this? These men defy all of this work hard logic. They are slackers to the max, and yet they're cleaning up. Why? It's not because they look the best. It's not because they have the most money. It's because they don't care. Whatever. I'm out here. Doesn't matter to me if it works out or not. This is what you have to understand. You see this a lot. The person at work who isn't trying that hard gets promoted. But the overachiever who's doing all the right things, they're showing up on time, they're doing extra work, they are dressed their best, they're not getting ahead. This is why. It's because it's not how much effort you put in that is the final determining factor. Determinator? Did I just say that? The final determining factor that causes something to manifest. Because when we manifest, manifesting really doesn't require action. It doesn't. This world is a dream world. So things can just be put there easily without effort. But in order to do that, you have to have that attitude of all is well. I don't care. All is well. And people that try really hard from the place of caring and needing it to work gum up the works. So they can do all the action in the world, but it doesn't actually result in them getting what they want. Now, like what I mentioned before, I'm not going to encourage you guys to become slackers. I don't think that that's really the best move either. What I found is really the best. If you really want to manifest great life, all kinds of stuff that you want, it's not so much about being a slacker, but it's about taking action that's inspired, having fun with what you're doing, getting immersed, feeling inspired through your action, and not caring. You want to put those two things together. So you're out there doing and living and playing the game of life, but you're letting things work out. Okay. So I'm not encouraging you guys to become slackers. That's not what I'm encouraging. But I do encourage you to notice how oftentimes slackers who do not deserve anything are cleaning up in certain areas because they just don't care. Okay. Because you will only manifest when you don't care. Very important thing to remember. Thank you, Katrina. Good morning, Stan. Hello, Mini Moon. Ooh, nice to see you guys. Answer some more questions here. Ooh. Oh, we got another super chat. Hi, Fairy Dragon. Nice to see you again. Dear Andrea, what to write daily when I ask how to reach my 2 big quarter goals and have no ideas yet? Is it like block clearing stretched in time? Ooh, that's a good question. So I think you're talking about what I mentioned this in the last live. Something that you can do is okay, so for the new year, instead of trying to do like a year-long goal, it can help when you want to manifest things to chunk them down and do like a quicker goal. So something that's like a month or a quarter. Quarter is good. So let's say you want to ask for something. It can help to in the morning, every morning, kind of have a journal next to your bed and just write down how can I manifest such and such? How can I manifest an extra 20,000 this month? Or how can I manifest the big promotion this quarter? Whatever it is. Ask that question and then answer it with whatever comes to mind. Okay? The thing of it is, it doesn't matter what the ideas are, but answer the question the best that you can. So I'm glad you brought this up because it doesn't matter if you get the quote unquote right answer. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to ask the question and see what I get back. And even if you get back a bad answer, write it down, or a really kind of lame answer, write it down. At a bare minimum, what you can write down is I can stay in alignment. I can talk positively about this. I can think positively about those are a few just gimmies. You can write those down. But the point isn't that you get the right answer, Fairy Dragon. The point is I'm asking the question because when I ask that question repeatedly, I will become more receptive to the answers. Do not worry about getting a perfect quality list. Okay. That's me caring about the list. We don't need to care about the list at all. This is just a focus exercise. All right. So be very free about what you write down. You can just let your hand go. Whatever comes out, just spill it out. It does not need to be the correct answer. That's not the purpose. The purpose is we are starting to put our mind in the place of how could this happen? How might this happen? How could this happen? Rather than what most people do with their dreams, which is It's not going to happen. I don't know how to do it. I don't have the resources. I can't figure it out. That's what the purpose of this exercise do is to open the mind up to how could it happen? How might it happen? All right. So don't worry about what you get written down. Just write. Okay. As long as you ask the question, contemplate it, and write something down, you're doing the exercise correctly. And over time, you will attract more and more ideas that make sense and ones that actually seem quite brilliant. But you have to just be okay with whatever comes at first. Ablarita asks, how not to care about your parents, siblings, close family members, especially their opinions. I've gotten better at it, but could still improve. Okay. Well, you've gotten better at it. So the first thing I would say is drop that second part of the equation. I could still improve. I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better and better at releasing these opinions. I'm getting better and better at staying in the zone no matter who's around me. I'm getting better and better at it. Because if you just say that, that will build up. If you say, I'm getting better and better, but I need to improve, I'm getting better and better, but I'm still screwing up, I'm getting better and better, but I'm still not there, then you don't let the energy grow. You do okay, but then it goes back down. You do okay, and then it goes back down. That's the first thing. Um, when it comes to people who are close to you, one thing that's helpful is realizing that you not caring is helping them. Because again, like I said at the beginning of the live, if you missed it, you can go back and watch. But at the beginning of the live, I was talking about, the people who are the most inspiring, the people who are the most uplifting, the people that are the most influential in a positive way in your life, you will notice that those people don't care. They don't get offended that much. They don't need things to go their way. They just along for the ride in a good mood. Things work out and everything's good with them. The people who need things to work out are the ones dragging everyone down. Okay. So you need to understand that I want to be on this team here, the inspiring team, not the team dragging everyone down. So it's in their best interests for me not to care. They may be acting like they need me to care. They may think they want me to care, but in reality, they will be more served for me. They will like being around me more. They will be more uplifted by me if I don't care. So you have to see it almost as if in a situation like with close family members, it's very helpful to see it almost as your obligation. I love these people, therefore, in order to love them the best, I need to not care at all what they think. That's how I help them the most, rather than I'm helping them somehow by going there with them when I'm not. Okay. But they'll want you to. They think they want you to. All right. Again, guys, today we're talking about manifesting only works when you do not care. Okay. The next point here has to do with control. So it's a big irony about the law of attraction is that when you learn about the law of attraction, the light bulb suddenly goes off. Oh my gosh, I can control my reality. All right. You probably had that experience when you first learned about the law of attraction. You probably felt like before you learned about the law of attraction, everything was outside of your control. But you learned about the law of attraction, like, wait a minute, I could control everything? Wow, that's really cool. So, what gets us through the door with the law of attraction that's very attractive to us is the idea of being able to control reality. But we're all very confused about what that means. Okay? When you care, when you need control, you care. But when you need control, you actually don't have it. Let me say that again. When you need control, you actually don't have it. When you surrender control, i.e., when you don't care, you have total control. It's completely backwards from the way that you've been taught. You've been taught that in order to have control, you need to care. You need to stay on top of it. Much like with those children, I need to care about what they're doing. I need to stay on top of their grades. I need to make sure that they behave. Okay. That's control. That's not control. Because when we act that way, we get children that resist us. We get children that act out. We get children that run away. We get the opposite intended effect. We have zero control when we do that. When we surrender control, we actually have total control. And so this is a very important thing to understand because what probably got you through the door about learning about the law of attraction and being really attracted to it was the idea that, oh my gosh, I can control my reality. You can, but you have to come at it from a totally different angle, which is just total, let it be what it is. Because again, when you don't care, the message you put out is all is well. I don't need to care. I don't need to worry about these kids. I don't need to worry about these grades. I don't need to worry about this. Everything's fine in my world. I am good. I am good. I am good. I am good. That's what you want to say to your reality every day to get things to work. That's how you control the children. That's how you control your pocketbook. That's how you control your spouse, your crazy family. I don't care. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's good. That's how you have total control. So the way that we describe control as a society is backwards. Because when someone says someone is controlling, what they're actually saying is that person is totally out of control. Whether you think about the controlling boss or the controlling spouse or the controlling parent, that person is actually totally out of control because they need control. What they're saying is, I don't have control. That's why I need to control it. But because underneath, I don't have control, I don't have control, I don't have control, their entire reality becomes chaos. Okay, so not caring equals total control over your reality. A lot of people were, if I stop caring, I'm going to lose control. No, no, no. If you stop caring, you're going to get total control. Very important thing to remember. Thank you for the super, Carlton. Are you saying that about me? If you're not. But if you are, thank you so much. That's very sweet. Rodrigo says, if your name is Karen, you could rename yourself as non-caring Karen. Don't you feel I feel bad for the Karens out there. I bet you there's lots of nice Karens out there that have just been getting slammed for the last few years. I feel bad. Okay, Pop K39 on Instagram asks, my daughter is diagnosed with anorexia and anxiety and has been going on for years, over 8 years. I want a shift now. I also started not to care or calling her healthy and not taking any pills. Okay. I want a shift now. Let it be okay. She's gonna get it when she gets it. She's learning something from this. Plenty of people recover from these types of things and go on to have really great lives. I was not anorexic. I had bulimia for 20 years. Got over it. Life's way better now. So I'm telling you this because in her own time, don't take on when other people have issues. I don't care how close they are to you. Daughter, son. It's harder when they're your children. I get it. I'm a mom. But you have to understand, don't take on what's going on with them is something faulty. You want to see it as, okay, she's learning something from this. She's growing from this. This is catapulting her to somewhere positive. And that's true if you let it be true. So how many of you guys have something in your past that was bad? Was it illness or a bad relationship or abuse or something? Okay. And at the time it was really bad. But in your process of growing, you letting go of that and deciding I'm going to have a good life anyway catapults you up. So whenever somebody's going through a struggle, they actually have a huge opportunity. And so I talk about this sometime with the rubber band analogy. So the rubber band analogy is all about resistance. Okay. When things aren't going well, when we're having problems, we really want a better life, but we're holding on to something that's not letting us go. We're pulling back, pulling back, pulling. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm not going. I'm staying stuck in this maladaptive behavior, or I'm feeling like a victim or something, pulling you back, pulling you back. When she finally lets go, the energy has to go somewhere. So it catapults people forward. So whenever you meet somebody who's struggling significantly, that's what you want to remind yourself of. Oh, they have a huge opportunity for meteoric growth. Okay. That's the way you want to look at it. I'm not saying don't take her to the doctor's appointment or don't love her. You can love her, but start to see that, a little bit of adversity is helpful with growth rather than this is bad, this is wrong, this is bad, this is wrong, because now I'm pulling back with her. Okay. Hmm. Andrew. Hi, Andrea. I'm living in Germany, and any request to a public body here takes forever to be processed. I've tried not to worry about getting the documents I need, but it's still driving me nuts. Okay. So your hands are tied with some kind of bureaucratic nonsense. I got to file this paperwork. I got to pay this tax. I got to, okay. And they're not giving me what I need. You know what really helps me with that kind of stuff, with not caring? First of all, I never said I was going to do any of that. Okay. I never signed up and said, when I showed up here on earth, I didn't sign a document saying I was going to adhere to all these rules. So that's something I will remind myself of. It's somebody else's rules. These aren't my rules. If they're not my rules, I don't need to care about them, first of all. Okay. Don't take on like the rules of society as these are my rules. That's helpful because you need to remember you're the one creating your reality. You have total jurisdiction over yourself. You're not bound, believe it or not, by laws, rules, and regulations. You're not. And I'm not saying this because I want you guys to go out and rob a bunch of convenience stores or anything like that. No. This is more an awareness of your power. Okay. So somebody who is in alignment, they can hop mountains without needing things to go a certain way. Okay. The documents could just show up. A new law could be passed out of the blue that allows you to do XYZ without needing the document. Another way to get to your dream could be made without you needing the document. You need to open up to that. Okay. So I would recommend, a lot of people have this when it comes to like laws, rules, regulations, like somehow those limiting beliefs matter. Okay. They don't. Any rule is a limiting belief. Any rule is a limiting belief. Even a rule that the government has assigned is a limiting, you have to do it this. No, you don't. Okay. There are plenty of people getting away without following the rules. So that's kind of the idea that I would work with in that situation. This is teaching me to release the idea that I need to worry about the rules that the government's making. And also, there's more than one way to do things. So maybe that's a good quarterly goal. How can I manifest this thing that I want? And in a way that's different from the way that I've already figured out. So right now, I think I need to do it this way, going through the government. What's another way that this might happen? Try that out. You got to open the mind up. The government doesn't get to decide what you do with your life. They don't. But if I decide that this is the rule I have to follow, then yeah, you're going to believe you're going to have to follow it that way because then I believe that. Hope that's helpful. Yeah, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. Banji, hey Andrea, I get frustrated when an opportunity comes and then all of a sudden it just vanishes. For instance, a scout from soccer randomly ghosted me after speaking for weeks. Yeah, that can happen. You guys ever get that? It came and then it went away, and then it came and then it went away. I got this opportunity, then it went away. It looked like this job was going to come, but then they didn't follow through. Okay. That's just an alignment issue, focusing on having, getting going, and then starting to focus on doubt and it goes away. Focusing on it working and it starts going, focusing on doubt and it starts to go away. Okay. So in that situation, I'd be validating that, okay, it's showing me my vibration. It's showing me that I'm focused on doubt right now. That's okay. You know, another train's coming. That's another saying that I like to use a lot. Another train's coming. Okay, that another train's coming. Another scout's coming. Another opportunity's coming. What's behind door number 4? Okay. Focus on that there's another opportunity coming. Okay. And on the next one, I'll focus better. It's fine. This one just taught me I got off track a little bit, but another one's coming. So I'll have another opportunity. rather than this was the only opportunity. We don't want to do that. There's another one coming. Okay. Which is true. There's always another one coming. So why care about this one? Next one's probably going to be better. Better scout, better team, better money. I'll be glad this one didn't work out. Salika, thank you for the super chat. She asked, my husband's joke slash not joke question is, quote unquote, how can my wife manifest more money that comes to her directly, not through me? Ah, well, that's his question. He would benefit from getting on board with the idea that the more money I got to give my wife, the more money is going to be attracted to me. That would help him out. I like spending money on my wife. It's kind of like the spending thing I talk about a lot. I'm thinking about making another video about this, about how spending can make you wealthy. But the main idea is that if you can spend and let go of money, you actually become a conduit for more money. Because letting go of money easily and spending money easily is a vibration of, I've got this, I have more than enough, I am abundant. A man who can provide for his wife fully, okay, gets to have that opportunity to think that all the time. But there's two different kinds of men. There are men who are like, yeah, I pay for that woman. And they become a lot more wealthy because they see it as, I'm an abundant man paying for my wife. And then there's men that look at it like, oh, I got to pay for this woman. And what's focused on there is the lack, or the money's going away, or I don't have enough. So I don't know if he's watching this or not, but you can tell him, I'm just trying to help make you rich. That's it. Don't fight against it, husband. Lucky Fairy Queen. Oh, you just joined the membership. Thank you for joining. Yes, again, please remember, member sales going on right now. I only do membership sales once a year. Once a year, this is it. Okay, so if you've ever wanted to become a member, this is the lowest price you will get to join. And so I do have a link that is at the top of the chat on YouTube, and you can also go to the link in my bio on Instagram. That'll take you to a page that shows you what all you get with the membership. But the broad strokes are, I have over 300, yes, over 300 manifesting resources that you cannot find here on YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere else. Lots and lots of content. I do send out 3 new downloads to you every single month. And then on top of that, you get login access to my app. So if you're interested in learning more, there's an informative video on that link, as well as information about what all is included. That sale will end on Thursday. And you have to use the code MAGIC at checkout, MAGIC, to get that discount. So thank you for signing up. Lucky Fairy Queen, I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you, Daniela. Esperanza, did you know Esperanza is my middle name? It is. Esperanza is my middle name. I don't look like it, but it is the truth. Oh, hi, Jazz. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see what you got here. Jazz asks, hi, Andrea. I'm working 9 to 5 and planning my first business. How can I let go of wanting to make money ASAP to get out of the 9 to 5 and focus on having fun? I want to attract high vibe clients. Thank you. Okay. So, okay. It's a shameless plug, but it's not, because I can only give so much information here. So I have lots of information in the Entrepreneur Fast Lane program that I have. Mary, if you want to pop the link up for that one, you can. But so take a look at that if you're interested. What I would say about working 9 to 5, planning your first business. So it's kind of in your situation. Okay, so there's different ways that you can go about this. You can do the whole just burn the boats philosophy, like hop out of your 9 to 5 and just go for it. That can sometimes be very helpful because it sets this kind of sense of, I got to do this rather than I can wait. It's like I'm doing this now. Okay. So sometimes just taking the leap of faith can be very helpful. Some people are not comfortable with the leap of faith strategy of just going from security of 9 to 5 to, okay, I'm 100% on my own. If that's more your boat that you're in, you want to look at it as reducing focus on the 9 to 5 while simultaneously increasing focus on the business. So paying less and less attention to your 9 to 5, giving it less and less of your attention and giving more attention to the business is going to be helpful. What you focus on, you attract more of. This is one of the problems, by the way, with side hustles. Okay. So nothing wrong with the side hustle. If you got a side hustle, you have your side hustle. Okay. But you're typically not going to see that a side hustle blows up into being a multi-million dollar thing because we have placed it on the side and it's not getting our full focus and attention. So I would be focused on that. The big thing with making money is focus on the money. Focus on the money. A lot of times with new businesses, people are really focused on the product or the service. And what you want to be thinking of is how do I make money through this product or service? And that needs to be where the mind is thinking. So for instance, for me, every day when I wake up, I do make money with what I do. You guys see me plugging stuff here all the time, right? So I'm focused on the money. Okay. We're talking law of attraction. I want to help you guys. I want you guys to get value. Yes. But I'm focused on the money. Notice that when I wake up every day, when I work, the first things I work on are money things. Okay. So things that are going to bring money through the door. A lot of people with their businesses, they're busy organizing drawers, managing people. They're doing things that aren't necessarily money related. And you will have to do those things. Put them later in the day though. Okay. So I don't do any of that stuff until I've already done my money activities. Money gets my attention first thing in the morning. And that's why money comes in the door. But yeah, check out Mary put the link for that over there, I think. It's the which one is it? Entrepreneur Fast Lane program. Yes, Esperanza is hope in Spanish. Thank you, Rodrigo. That is true. Jean Jung. Hi, Andrea. Don't we need to feel the feelings of why we want or need something? Or can we just shift our feelings with our not caring? Yes. But you know what you'll notice is that feeling the feelings is not caring. I'm so glad you asked this question. Feeling the feelings is not caring. You want to know why? Does anybody know why? Think about all the stuff you've got. The stuff you've got, you don't care about that much. Okay? You wanted to manifest a home, you got the home, you've got it. It is no longer something you care about. I'm not saying you don't love it or you don't appreciate it, but you're not worried about it. You're not if you're married, that guy ain't going I'm not worried about him. He's here. I don't care. It's not that I don't love him, but I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. Not caring is the feeling of having. All the stuff that you've got, I'm not saying you guys don't appreciate the things that you have, but honestly, when we talk about appreciation, a lot of the stuff that I talk about is actually look around. Oh, yeah, I can appreciate this stuff again that I've been taking for granted and not caring about. That is the vibration of having. I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, Adam, I'll make another spend money video. I just thought of that topic today. So I was like, ooh, I want to talk about that. That'll be the next one, I think. Otis, when it's time to renew, will you get the discounted price again on the membership? Yes. Okay. So if you sign up now, that's your grandfathered price. Okay. So it's on the annual memberships. You will get an email from my team like a week or so before you renew. So you're not going to sneak up on you. You'll know, but it will be you will always renew at that price. Okay. So it's the lowest it will ever be. Oh, Gail, I tried to sign up, but because I already have a course, it said my email was already being used and it wouldn't go through. Gail, what you want to do is on the checkout page, it says, "Do you already have an account? Log in." So under account information, when you're typing it in, it'll say underneath that, "Already have an account? Log in." Log in, and it'll bring up all of your information that you did to sign up as a course, and you can sign up for the membership that way. Okay, or you can sign up with a different email. Those are the 2 options, but because you already have an account for the course, it wants you to be logged in and then add the membership to that account. And if you have a problem with that, send us a message to the contact page or contact Mary. We'll get you sorted. Shams, happy New Year, Andrea, and for all the wisdom you share. Happy New Year to you too. I get the joke, Rodrigo. Since Esperanza is hope in Spanish, your middle name should be changed to Ya lo tengo, which means I already have it. Rather than I hope. Yep, I get you. That's funny. Maggie Silva, hi Andrea. Is it possible to manifest an abundance of money flowing frequently without having to work a regular job? Sure, it is. You don't know anybody who think about housewives, lottery winners, people that get inheritances. There's all kinds of people that are aligning with money and they're not doing anything. Slackers sometimes win. We talked about that earlier, right? Jonatas asks, or says, as an entrepreneur, I had been maybe distracted with so many tasks around me and the lacking on the focus of money first the morning every day. Yeah, so many business people are entrepreneur, especially if it's like your own, it's a new business. Focus on the money. Okay. Money tasks first. Okay. What you focus on first builds the most momentum throughout the course of the day. That's why the beginning of the day, guys, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, the beginning of your day is the most important part of your day because what you focus on first is going to get ramped up the most. That's why at the beginning of the day, we want to have some appreciation. At the beginning of the day, we may want to think about our goals and do some affirmations. At the beginning of the day, we want to focus on putting money in the business. What you focus on early grows. Okay. So we don't want to do mundane, silly tasks that aren't related to the goal first thing in the morning, because then we're just going to attract more silly, mundane tasks that aren't helping us. Wrong, Arango? Not caring about not now having, it does make sense if you think about it. It does. Prachana, it's a long name. Okay. Does the annual membership include the course for Entrepreneur Fastlane, or are there two separate materials? Yes. Okay. No, it does not. Okay. So I have courses, and the courses are like several hours long. Okay. Those are standalone courses. Okay. Then there is the membership program. They all contain that. The membership program contains a wide variety of different topics. And instead of like hours long courses, we're talking about 20, 30-minute videos, audios, guided meditations, that kind of stuff. Okay. So those are two separate things. Okay. But again, yeah, you can check out if you want to see the Entrepreneur Fastlane program on Instagram, link in the bio, look for the one that says all my courses and downloads. That one will take you to, you can see all the different courses that are separate from the membership on that page. Simabog 85. Andrea, how are you celebrating New Year's Eve? Ooh, teachable moment. Good question. So I did have plans to go out to dinner and do a party. That was the plan. But actually, yesterday, there was something about it that just seemed kind of off. And then my husband, it turns out he's on call for work. And there's just a lot of things about it that seemed off. And so I had committed to go do this party and this dinner, but because it felt off, I sent my regrets early. I'm not going to be able to make it. And so I'm just wanted to say that to that because a lot of times around the holidays, you guys get stuck with obligations. You said you were going to go to this house. You said you're going to go to this party. You said this, you said that. If there are things that are looming that you don't want to be doing, give yourself permission not to. All right, guys, quick reminder again, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to me on YouTube and also follow me on Instagram because I do lives like this every single week. I know I talked a little bit earlier about the body manifesting tips. Again, there's free tips if you want to manifest your ideal body in the new year. There's a link in my bio as well as over in the chat on YouTube. Mary, if you drop it again, it's a free tip sheet on manifesting your best body that you can look into. And again, final reminder about the membership sale that ends on Thursday. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out after you watch this video. And then I will be back on Thursday with another video. I think I'm going to do the one on spending to be rich. So I'll be back on Thursday for that one. So I will see you guys again on Thursday on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, I'll actually be on Facebook. Okay, so don't follow me over here on Instagram on Thursday. Come over to Facebook or YouTube if you want to come on for that live. But yeah, it's about time for me to jump off, and I will see you guys. I'm going to say the tacky thing. I'll see you next year. But it was nice seeing you guys over here. Thank you so much for joining. And of course, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.